With Texas claiming its spot as the second most populous state in the U.S. in the recent past, it's important for us to look at the reasons behind the state's ever-growing population. Immigration is a major factor in the population growth of many states, and these states are required to look to the federal government to act when their interests are at stake. Just as the United States experiences population changes, Texas does too. Immigrants are currently the largest portion of people coming to settle in Texas, both legal and illegal. There is an extremely large and ever-growing foreign-born population in Texas, many speaking languages other than English as their primary language. The numbers of immigrants are increasing in every area. The foreign-born population increased over fourfold in the past 20 years, accounting for nearly 20% of the growth. Texas can provide a place flourishing with opportunities and better living conditions. Even without any migration in or out of the state, Texas could still grow by about 4.5 million over the next 25 years. Although population could decrease if states begin adopting policies that reduce incentives for immigrants in the U.S. Texas stands at about the national average in terms of the health of its people, and the state's infant mortality rate is better than the corresponding national averages, making it a desirable home for many. School budgets are proof of immigration's role in the Texas population. At our current rate of enrollment, Texas will have to build 2 schools every week for the next 25 years just to keep up with these growing numbers. Every child must be educated, regardless of immigration status. Thousands of Mexican students illegally attend border schools at a cost of more than $26 million. The increasingly multilingual school-age population poses additional financial problems for the state in investing in required expensive bilingual educational programs. Another problem for the state of Texas is the deteriorating transportation system. Traffic is growing, but highways are not. An additional 100,000 lane miles of highways will need to be constructed just to keep pace with the state's growth. Likewise, the number of registered vehicles and amount of motor fuel consumed has increased immensely. It will be virtually impossible to construct enough highway miles to keep pace with the population growth. The result? Choked highways and increased traffic congestion, an unappealing factor to those looking to live here. With a larger population also comes growth in crimes and prisons. The serious crime rate for Texas is 25% higher than that for the nation. Because of the constant rate of increase among prisoners, money that could be used for schools, highways, and other infrastructure costs is having to be put towards the Department of Corrections. These other areas receiving less attention may become less appealing to those interested in making Texas their home. The quality of education may suffer. The labor force may not be able to keep up with the current and future high-tech demands. The environment may suffer too. The state may have trouble coping with the increased demands on transportation, water, and electricity. The challenge at this point for Texas policymakers is deciding on how to allocate scarce resources to state programs such as education, labor force training, or welfare and medical services. Both birth rates and mortality rates aren't addressed in the mathematical models and will likely influence the growth rate of Texas's population. Texas has some options in the area of fertility. Public and private agencies can work to raise the consciousness of all Texans on the issue of high population growth. Progress in educating the public is essential.